like go insane. Think of your brain as a shelter in place. Don't let no one in, just lock up your shades. Change to be feared if you hear what they saying. All in the news, feeding us views. Them feel good to be tamed. Taking my feet, treated as food. Ain't it a breeze to forget how to speak and let them do the spoon for you. Learn to feel free and to give your freedom. Decisions to be made by the group.
Mama told me safer folding, trying to carve yourself a space. Bend over backwards, let the assholes run us right down the train.
Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just needed time, I'll probably just to Spain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna fill my face. I'll give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay.
I've been giving you the worst of me. Now you wanna stay the night. Pretty how you work hard for me. Why forgetting how to talk? No, I don't like no humble beats. Just go and suss it up. Now it's time to marinate. And right after we're done, I like it when you're looking like that. Don't like it when you chat. I like it when you're looking like that. Or shy to find, don't mind my reaction. I like it when you look like that. Don't wanna watch a bugger with a white mouth. Just like it when you're looking like that. No sweets, no rush, can't my attraction. Don't think twice, I'm here for a moment. No, I like him better. I got a church place somewhere and I'll make it last forever. I've been giving you the worst of me. Now you wanna stay the night. Pretty how you work hard for me. Why forgetting how to talk? No, I don't like no humble beats. Just go and say giving you the worst of me. Now you wanna stay the night. Pity how you work hard for me, while forgetting how to talk. No, I don't like no humble bitch. Just go and suss it up. Now it's time to marinate. And right after we're done,
Swipe, 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 swipe. Swipe, 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 swipe. Just picked up some bands, come again, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands, rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Swerving, making plays, cool Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands. Only fam around me, I can't have no friends. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. Ever since I was a teen, had prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands, rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands, rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, ball point on the beat, ball point make them dance. Yeah, we came up for nothing, now we're making plans. Yeah, just picked up some bands, just picked up some bands. Tell her, ask you questions when I come again. On the run like a runaway. Only way is the money way. New chain, no jewelry. No games, don't fool me. 21, been a boss. Play the game, pay the cost. Heard you really TikTok. Need to get another watch. Just picked up some bands, come again, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running
Hello, PUBG Mobile friends! My name is Carol Bombshell and welcome to the 2024 PMGO Brazil. Today we start the prelims stage. Are you guys ready? Cause the players sure are. But before we start the real thing, let's catch up with the format for today's matches.
Olá Brazil! Welcome to the Format Explainer 2024 PUBG Mobile Global Open Brazil. The time has come for new generation of players to make their mark on the global stage. 2024 PMGO Brazil has 4 stages: online qualifiers, qualifier finals, prelims, and the main event. The journey kicked off with the online qualifiers, which featured 2 rounds. From March 4th to 6th, registered teams fought to claim the top 128 spot and pass the first round. These 128 teams went through the same format from March 8th to 10th, where 32 teams survived the second round of elimination and made their way to the qualifiers finals. Now prepare your nerves because the PMGO Brazil qualifiers final are set from March 28th to 30th. The 32 qualified teams from the online qualifiers will be divided into 2 groups, A and B. After 2 days of intense matches, only the top 8 teams from each group will advance to the final day. On March 30th, the 16 teams will then face off in a showdown where the team that secures the first position rackets straight into PMGO main event, while teams that rank 2nd to the 9th gear up for the prelims. The PMGO Prelims is a crucial stage for these 8 teams who will lock horns with 16 2024 PUBG Mobile Partnership Program teams, who get invited here to raise the heat. From April 1st to 3rd, these 24 teams will be divided into 3 groups. The round-robin format will reveal the cream of the crop, the top 8 who step into the PMGO Brazil main event. Next, these 8 chosen youngbloods, along with the qualifier finals winner, will face the ultimate challenge when 7 global titans join lobby in the main event. Mark your calendars, because from April 5th to 7th, these 16 teams will wage war for the PMGO crown and a slice of the 500,000 USD prize money. Are you ready for the ultimate test of skill and teamwork? Then witness the contenders rise in 2024 PMGO Brazil.
What's up, everybody? It's Hot Jukes and ready for some PUBG Mobile Global Open action. We're in the preliminaries now, and to my side, I got none other than the 7WG and DK. Yo, 7, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited, especially after what happened Saturday. I can't wait to see the response from Team Falcons. Sorry, I just had to get that out of my system.
Oh, dude, DK, you were there with me, brother. How you feeling?
Woo! I mean, dude, like, if Saturday is anything to go on, we are in for an absolute show moving into today's action.
Man, dude, I think the Team Falcons are going to be coming in real hot here. But for those of you guys that missed it, we got a quick little recap to break down what happened just a couple days ago.
While the allure of dominating moments and swift clutches often steals the spotlight, the true champions at the table had once again emphasized that in this battle of survival, consistency always reigns supreme, even in a rapid-fire series of 6 matches. Meet the table toppers, Team HFIYS, igniting the day with an explosive 12 elimination 3rd place finish on Sandhawk. In such fierce competition, survival hinges and navigating from one battle to the next, and despite their firepower, they couldn't quite seal the deal when it came to grabbing chicken dinners, yet their placements were as consistent as your morning coffee. Always landing in top 4 beyond their rankings, this team's ability to rack up elimination became a routine grocery run. So, even when Team Deathwolf snatched the final chicken dinner, HFYS's 9 elimination 2nd place finish cemented their spot in the top underdogs, punching their ticket to the main event with a 6-point lead. Hot on their heels, the Brazilian Uprisers, Team Deathwolves, nearly stole the show with a blockbuster 16 elimination massacre. However, their initial inconsistency left them trailing in the 2nd on the overall placement. Otherwise, when this squad plays their cards right, it's a masterclass on how to perform a massacre right. High expectations accompany the Mongolian Falcon squad, comprising former stalwart members, also known as the Conquerors of Central Asia, and they delivered from the outset. The new Falcons scripted the demise of their rivals with a flawless zone control. In the opening match, they dismantled rivals like Zebra Masters with this. In the second one, Icy's cunning survival skills secured them an unexpected second place. The remaining matches didn't quite steal the spotlight, placing them third on the table. But the opening bouts made it clear, the Conquerors of South Asia are still at their A-game. While Team Zebra Masters showed flashes of brilliance, they could never quite soar without a big leap. While consistency remained their ally, one chicken dinner and they could have cracked the top 3. Claiming the 5th spot, Team INS showcased meticulous performance on Erangel. Fortified by favorable circles, yet credit is due, these youthful contenders who fiercely defended their fortress, punishing every intruder who dared to encroach. Following their second place finish to Team INS on Erangel, Team Row strategically held their high ground near La Drillera with precision. As the final minutes ticked by, their opponents found themselves helpless, unable to throw out Row's calculated dominance, reducing the match to a tense waiting game where all the rivals could do was deny elimination points. But that still did not hold them off from entering the prelims as the 6th place team. The new Nepali coalition of Skylights and Raw Esports named as Team Hora salvaged their fate with a 3rd place finish on Erangel. While their 7th place finish keeps Nepali hopes aflame, but no, they'll need to fight even harder to survive the coming trials. Smoke Gaming. Despite showcasing glimpses of promise with 2 4th place finishes, found themselves teetering on the edge of contention. While their performance hinted at potential breakthroughs, they ultimately fell short of making a lasting impact on the leaderboard. In the end, a single point separated Inco Gaming, the former Brazilian PMGO champions, from missing the prelims cut. While this new half roster struggled to recapture their champion form, their grit proved enough to keep their journey alive, if barely. The cream of the qualifier rounds will now be joined by the global favorites in the prelim stage. The time has come to prove their worth against the best there is. Witness there in the PMGO Brazil prelim.
Wow, dude, what a crazy qualifiers. I mean, we were so shocked that Team Falcons at the last second didn't make it. But you know what? I think they're going to be coming in hot here today, 7.
I think they are too, and the best part about this too is that it's going to be 3 days. It's not just going to be 1 day, so they're going to be able to. We're hopefully going to be able to see that consistency that we know Team Falcons can definitely provide.
100%. DK, we talked about that a little bit yesterday, right? Or actually the day before yesterday when we saw them not make it. We said that, hey, you know what? If there was a tournament that was like 3 days long during those qualifiers, maybe we would have seen them take it to the top. But hey, with only 1 day, we thought they had it locked, and then just at the last second, it got taken away from them.
I mean, that's a beautiful opportunity with upsets to come through, but I think it's going to be interesting looking to see what day 1 for the prelims has in store for us.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got a nice little interview coming right up. Let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage.
And we are back here with Team Liquid's coach, Knight. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us. And first of all, we want to know your impressions about the teams from the qualifying phase and how we should prepare ourselves for the prelims stage.
Hi everyone. I think we had some great surprise in the prelims because like people were expecting Falcons go straight to the finals, and also we didn't had Moneymakers qualifying to the prelims stage, so everyone was kind of shocked. But like besides that, like all the Brazilian teams, we know them very well. We play them daily, so they're great teams, and let's see what the next day is going to give us, like some good surprise.
Nice. And you have won PUBG tournaments in the past, and now you are making your debut with this team, right? So how do you plan to lead them to the victory?
Of course, I have like a big experience because like I played a lot of tournaments, but they are also like very experienced players. So I think we are like together, we are having like great results. We are improving every single day, and you guys gonna see great things coming from us.
Awesome. And you have an incredible team with you. They were consistently strong last year. What can we expect from Team Liquid in the prelims stage?
So basically, they're a great team, but I joined the team to bring them to the next level in terms of strategy. So I think like with their gun skills and mentality plus the strategies, like we're gonna achieve like amazing results this year. And this is what like this is our main goal, like bring the team to the next level.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the interview.
That's the coach from Team Liquid right there. So, guys, this is what it's all about. We're going to see those teams that came from the qualifiers now compete against the partnership teams. We alluded to this a little bit when we were actually watching the qualifiers, DK. And look at this. These are going to be the groups and teams that we got competing today. What are some of the ones that stand out to you, DK?
I mean, we got to start off right there with Navi, right? We got Navi stepping out on the field. We got Enigma Galaxy coming in as well. So Group A already looking exceptionally hard. I mean, we've got D Xavier over in towards B. There's such a lineup coming through with these groups.
They are, and then you have Nextria as well, which is, I mean, that's a team that I'm actually intrigued to see how they're going to be performing here. But you know what, with this roster, I want to talk about a little bit about Inco Gaming. That team was barely able to make it to the prelims. They were able to out-qualify Moneymakers by just 1 point. I'm hoping they are able to find that consistency a little bit more, DK.
Oh, man, it is going to be of utmost importance for these teams to play. And I mean, looking at what we had in the qualifiers, now stepping into prelims, I mean, the competition just took a whole few steps up, right, in the level of difficulty.
Yeah, and then, you know what? We just got to hear from Knight in regards to Team Liquid. I'm intrigued. And that's another team. I'm intrigued to see what this team's going to be doing, because if for anybody that might not be familiar with it, Team Liquid is actually pretty much the players from Loops Esports, which they ended up in 12th place in the previous PMGC 2023. So they're definitely a team with a lot of potential. And then we have Hyper, which for all the NA hopes, this is a completely different roster. The only thing that's staying the same is FS and Shifam, but everybody else, all the big hitters are gone from that team.
You gotta get it done. They gotta get it done. Come on, Hyper, right? Let's go ahead and see what they could do. But meanwhile, we got Team Kessel, Influence Rage, and that good old-fashioned Hoorah Esports as well. And there towards the end, look at that. Vampire is gonna be coming in hot here really soon, DK.
I mean, this is such an insane lineup of teams. I mean, we were talking about this after the qualifiers, right? These teams are really busting themselves trying to get through these games, and just keeps on getting even more challenging. But the good thing is, though, the share of the prize pool also goes up, right? It's gone from 64K all the way up onto $80,000 for the prelims.
You don't want that prize pool,
for a total of $500,000. That's what is that, Jukes? Your day rate?
Yeah, I wish. I'll tell you what, though, that $80,000 prize pool is going to get split, but it's going to get split amongst those teams that don't make it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to definitely punch your ticket on over to that main stage, because that's where the big money is right here. This is how you're going to get it. The good old-fashioned point structure. We got, 10 points for a chicken dinner, but those elimination points are just going to be so important here, 7.
Yeah, that's the big one, especially since we're seeing this new format. The elimination points, you've seen a lot more teams, especially from last year, focus more on it, make sure they're a little bit fragger heavy, and I think that's going to come out in play here again once we get the prelim started.
Yeah, 100% here. And this is going to be the schedule that we're going to see today. We're going to start off in the jungle once again, DK. I wonder if, obviously we saw a lot of these teams, they had to be doing their homework during the qualifiers, right? And I wonder if they're going to mix up some strategies, with this particular kind of format.
Well, Jukes, I definitely hope that there's some kind of insane play that we are going to be seeing. But, I mean, 7, right? We've been looking at a lineup like this all the way back into the qualifiers, and now bring it into the prelims. I think there's so much that's going to be happening, especially just in map number 1.
Oh, for sure. And something that we got to keep in mind, too, is keep in mind which groups are going to be playing today. It's only going to be Group A and Group B. Group C is going to get a chance to sit out, kind of watch how these teams are going to be playing. And then tomorrow is going to actually be Group B versus Group C. So for Group A, for any teams, I don't want to put this out there, but I gotta say it. If any teams do start having a rough day, at least they're gonna get a bit of a break. But if some teams maybe do get into a very hot momentum and train, they might not be able to carry it until tomorrow, since Group A is gonna be sitting out.
That's kind of like it's always a blessing and a curse when we see these kind of groups split up, because, you get to sit out the first day, you get to watch, you got to get that info, but then usually you're stuck having to miss out on the last day, and that's where it can get a little bit intense. You're gonna have to, once you get in the game, you have to go nonstop from the start, TK.
I mean, it's going to be pressure, pressure, pressure right out of the gate. And I think this is where Group C has a bit of an opportunity, as we're going to be seeing them on day 2 and day 3. So Group A and B, they're really going to have to grind everything that they can. And I mean, they've got to hit the ground running right out of the gate here on this one, 7.
Yeah, for teams that I'm going to be looking, especially from Group A, I want to see what Navi is going to be doing. I mean, this team... first time we're seeing the actual org Navi back into PUBG Mobile since 2022. I'm excited to see that, and they ended up taking over Team Falcons of last year. That roster that's going to be with them now, except for Gonzo. So I'm intrigued to see how some of these teams are going to be playing, and other teams as well, like this one, Inco Gaming. I was talking about earlier, they were barely able to qualify to the prelims. We need to see a little bit more urgency out of this team, considering that they are going to end up sitting out tomorrow.
Yeah, look at that, Xavier looking pumped, ready to go. I mean, these guys are locked and loaded. So it's so crazy to say, because we've been seeing so many of these teams been competing for so long. And DK, do you think that these, qualifier teams are going to have a little bit of an advantage, considering that they're going to be so warmed up coming into this? What do you think?
I mean, you would expect them to be able to carry forward a little bit of that momentum that they've been able to build up. I mean, we did see those insane plays coming in right on the very last match of day 3. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of that pull through. But again, it comes down to how these teams are prepared for the gameplay, I would say, on a mental level, right? Can they really push it through as much as they need to? And I mean, this is not a race. This is a marathon, right? We got several days of action. So I think there's going to be a lot on the table for them here, Jukes.
Okay, 7. Who do you think is going to start off strong here?
Oh, I'm hoping it's going to be Team Falcons. I think they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after what happened to them in the qualifiers. If they don't, I would be pleasantly surprised. A lot of people might be saying that this is kind of like a bit of a Cinderella story, right? Can they go from qualifiers all the way to main event and possibly win it? But they are, it would not be an upset if this team does end up in first place. And earlier we got a chance to see there at 9C's team. This team is just compiled by a lot of different players from different teams, and they only been together for about 2 weeks, at least from the time that the actual team was established. 2 weeks might not be long enough to be playing at an event of the quality of this. And if they're wanting to go into main event, they're gonna have to readjust. The synergy is gonna have to be there, but I just don't think that's gonna be there. I'm interested to see what's gonna be happening with that team from 9Cs.
Me as well, but you have to be able to adapt at a stage like this. And speaking of adapt, during the qualifiers, we saw a team actually do it, right? We saw High Fives as the last second say, you know what? We can't leave this up to chance. We got to take the Falcons out here and now if we want to punch our ticket. And I think that was definitely the smart play, DK, because this preliminaries is absolutely stacked with some monster squads. But like you said, there are some teams, that have some new rosters that are mixing things up. I think day 1 is going to be so important for those squads to really just hit the ground running and take advantage of maybe some of this little, nuanced newness here, because you don't want to get stuck, so down the leaderboards real quick. But we're going to start off with game number 1. Boys, take it away.
All right, well, here we go. Getting ready for the action. Of course, getting right down into Sanhok. Game number 1. 7, I think this is going to be the game that kind of sets the standard, right? That lays the foundation here. I mean, we've seen now that teams are capable of really closing up gaps wherever they need to. But I wonder just how much of a gap we are going to be seeing established right here in Sanhok.
I mean, honestly, I used to be such a big fan of Sanhok just because of all the madness, and I used to love where we used to have this map located, which was towards the middle, because it would kind of give a break for the teams that maybe weren't performing well to take advantage of all the craziness, right, and try to close up that gap that you're talking about. But with the here, I mean, I'm interested to see the teams that are from Brazil. They are usually the strongest ones when it comes to Sanhok, and I'm hoping that they're going to be taking advantage right away, as we are seeing some teams already getting into a fight.
Well, now the pressure is on. Gotta keep it up, though. It's good to see some early game interaction coming through, and of course, especially looking down into Spinun. It's a point of interest that is so heavily contested most of the times when we get into the lovely map of Sanhok here. So I want to see how this one is going to play out. Also, up into Ruins, Inco feeling a little bit of that heat.
Inco feeling a little bit of heat, but also being able to already eliminate 3 players from Navi, as we do have 1 player still alive. We're going to be switching over, though, as you can see on the Elim feed as well. 9Cs being able to take onto another team and actually eliminate it. There's so many fights actually going on, and if I'm not honestly surprised that there's so many fights going on right now, considering that a lot of these teams haven't really seen each other previously.
Well, they are pros for a reason, right? They have the ability to adapt as they have to. Now, Team Liquid, of course, coming in with an interesting spread, though, playing that 3-1 positioning from what we can see. Ooh, but the shots starting to connect on up. But now the pressure is on still, right? Because as we can see here, Regnum, they're going to be holding nice and steady, not going to be looking to expose themselves too much. And I think right here in Pi None, there's quite a bit of ground to try and establish.
There is, and this could be 2 of the strongest teams, especially from this prelims, wanting to fight against each other. And something that we definitely need to mention is we already have a team that's already been eliminated. It's going to be Virtus Pro. They are out of Sandhawk. Not the way you want to be able to start prelims, but as we mentioned, it is Sandhawk. It is a lot of madness. Anything can happen here. You can either win it or you can be gone back to the lobby, as Navi is going to be going back to the lobby. Inco Gaming only